Hello and welcome to another episode of Relate and Illuminate. I'm here with Lisa Mills. Hi Lisa, thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm honored.
Oh, I'm honored because this lady is multi-talented. She's, let's see, a professor, full professor at a university here in Florida. She's a award-winning documentary filmmaker. She's a producer, director of television and film and has been for 40 some odd years. And she's also the wife of a wonderful man that was in television for 39 years. That's amazing. So we're going to talk about that along with, because they did work together, and so some of her career and projects will come up when we're talking about that. But anyway, so y'all were married. Well, first of all, how did y'all meet?
Well, we met at a television station in the studio. I was running teleprompter. Tim was running camera. The teleprompter broke. He ran over and fixed it. He was my hero. But we were just friends at first. And I think that's kind of a key, a little hint there.
Oh, good. That set the stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how long were y'all friends?
Well, I was dating someone else when I met Tim, and not long after that, I went on a trip to England and by myself, and I realized while I was over there that I was thinking about Tim, my friend, more than I was thinking about my boyfriend at the time. And so I knew that there was a spark there.
Right. That's a note to self.
Yeah, now when I got back from the trip, the guy I had been dating throughout college, he and I agreed mutually to end the relationship. And actually, he's gotten back in touch with me via Facebook after all those years and asked me how I was doing. So everything was all right. But I started dating Tim not long after I got back from that trip.
Oh, awesome. So y'all were at that TV station for how long together?
We were at Channel 4 for a couple of years, and then we moved over to a different TV station across town. I went over there first, and then Tim came over after that. And we kind of followed each other around all the way up until I went into academia in '99. And that was the first time that we really hadn't worked together.
Oh, okay. So, how many years was that between
Gosh.
99 and when you started?
I think we met up in '82. That's my cat you can hear in the background. But we started working together in January of '82. And then I left television in August of '99. So I'm terrible at math. Y'all can do the math.
And yeah, because I don't do it either. That's why we majored in communication, right?
That's right.
So, yeah, y'all just kept following each other. So, and he kept being a videographer, right? He always...
Originally, he was a studio camera operator,
Okay.
and then he merged into videographer after I took a job up in North Carolina. We moved to North Carolina, and he was freelance videographer. And then when we moved back down to Florida, he got a job as a videographer at the same TV station where I was a producer.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. I know you progressed from teleprompter operator
Yes.
to producer.
I did progress into producer, but my grandmother was never satisfied. She kept asking me, Lisa, when are they going to promote you to be an anchor? And I said, Mima, it doesn't work like that. I'm happy to be behind the camera, not in front of it.
I did the same thing. They kept trying to push me in front of the camera, and I'm like, no, too much scrutiny, too much backbiting, and people get fired all the time, and I don't know, I just didn't want to be scrutinized like that. Plus I liked wearing the hats of a producer, which...
Yeah, we liked control of it, I think, and the responsibility. I've never shied away from responsibility, but anybody that knows me well knows I'm not really into fancy clothes or makeup or hairstyles. So I think that was probably the major factor for me, was just the appearance thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to keep all that up.
Yeah, you do. And that's not my thing.
Yeah, I get it. So once you got into academia, was your first job at UCF, University of Central
Yeah,
Florida?
I really was so fortunate to land that gig. It was completely by accident because they had hired another professor who just didn't show up at the last minute.
Wow.
And they called me and asked if I could get 4 different courses together in 2 weeks. And I said, absolutely no problem. So that's how I got into UCF.
Did I tell you she's special?
Oh boy, that was really a task, but somehow I did it. There's a lot of things I've done that looking back, I'm not really sure how.
Yeah, I know. I've seen you work and I'm like, how did she do that? For instance, you got your PhD while working full-time, teaching full-time. Unbelievable.
That was a really interesting part of my life, but now I realize that all of this work and career stuff that I focused on for so many years, for decades, it doesn't matter that much at the end. You know what matters is how committed you are to your friends and family.
Absolutely.
In the end, that's what matters.
That's why I'm talking about relationships and your wonderful, successful relationship with your husband. And we're friends. We've been friends for many years. Since 2004, so
I think the first
21 years.
I think the first time I met you, I remember hearing you laugh, and that was so charming. And I thought, that's got to be somebody from the South. Who is that other girl from down South? So I just remember that you and I hit it off pretty quick.
Yeah, we did. So I really am fortunate that we became friends and have stayed friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a real treasure to me, and I agree. I think that's what matters and is meaningful. And in our later years, that's what I'm looking for, is meaning in my
Yes.
life. I mean, I talked about last week about material things, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't make you happy. And I spend money, but it's mostly on experiences and with people, because that to me is the best. And
Yes.
memories, you know.
Yes.
But anyway, so when you and Tim, your husband, were able to work apart, how did that affect your relationship?
Well, we kind of found a way pretty soon after to work together again because he had his job at the TV station and I had my job teaching. But for my research, I had to make documentaries. So he and I worked together on those films, and we got along pretty well for the most part on all of those films. There were certainly moments where we had disagreements on how something should be cut together. But for the most part, we're on the same page. And I think compatibility is really important. And we learned pretty early on that we were real compatible, but we were together for 3 years before we got married. And sometimes I think that patience is important and taking time to really get to know somebody and know how compatible you are rather than rushing into something, because ultimately, you know, all those butterflies at the beginning of a relationship are going to flutter away. So what's left, you know, whether or not you get along and can have fun together and appreciate and respect each other.
There you go.
And I think that we figured out that that would be the case before we got married. And so that would be one piece of advice for you ladies. Can I give a second piece?
Please.
Observe how your guy treats his mama.
I like that.
If he's close to his mom and respects his mother and his siblings and takes care of them, then you know he'll take care of you, you know, when the time comes. Do we want to be independent? Yes. We don't want to have to rely on our partner all the time.
No.
But later in life, you're going to need each other. And will he be there, you know, to take care of you? That's important. So observe how he takes care of others.
That's very
Or she,
important.
whatever partner you have, observe them with their family and their friends.
Right. And it's a matter of respect.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, you know, y'all respect each other. So That's right. So y'all work together. I forgot. Y'all work together all the time, even though he was at the TV station, because y'all were doing documentaries and winning awards. And
We always seem to have some project going.
right, right. But that gave you, a common goal and common interests, and sometimes it involved travel.
Yes, and something
so
to be
y'all could-
proud of together, and something that we can share with other people and look back on accomplishments together. So I think we've been very, very fortunate, and I'm grateful for the life we've had.
But you two have to take a bow because you've worked at it. Has there ever been any tough times?
Yes, it's not been a perfect marriage, I'll tell you that. But
No one.
I think
No
that
one's is.
ultimately it's just you come home. You come home because that's where you belong. When you try to work it out, patience is really the key, and just don't sweat commitment, and don't sweat the small stuff. There's stuff I do that annoys him, there's stuff he does that annoys me, but it's not a big deal.
In the big scheme of
just
things.
don't make it a big drama. Just accept people for who they are, rather than trying to change them the way you want them to be.
Exactly. And people don't change.
No, they really don't.
Well, that's good advice. So what do you think the secret has been to all those years? If there's, you just told us about a lot of things, but if you were to say, I remember asking a friend of mine's grandparents that, because they had been married 50-something years, and she goes, keep your mouth shut.
Well, if I can turn that around to a more positive view, I do think that compatibility is really what's kept us together, but also sense of humor.
There you go.
Just be able to laugh at something together, or be able to laugh at each other, and don't get hurt by it. Just laugh with them.
Yeah.
I can't believe I did that. That was pretty funny, and just have a sense of humor, and make sure that you're going to be able to get along with each other. Your core beliefs and values.
There you go.
If those align, then you're going to be able to make it work.
For long term. Yeah. Well, I know Tim just retired, and he's enjoying that, and you're still working. How's
For
that
a little
going?
while longer. Well, so far so good. I think I'll go back to school more full time in the fall, and he'll be here on his lonesome with the cats. So we'll see. We're kind of easing into it over the summer, but I've got a list of projects, and he's enthusiastic about doing those projects, but he'll also get some downtime. I don't have, even though I'm a producer by trade, I don't have to keep him busy all the time.
Yeah.
He gets me time.
Yeah, good. He needs, everybody does. So, it's plug time. Are you going to be working on anything you want to plug?
We just wrapped up a documentary on first-time voters, which I'm hoping will somehow get on the air or online eventually. We have a few other ideas for history films, but nothing really going on that at the moment. Just ideas flowing and research happening right now.
I know, it's always something with you. Well, thanks so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure, and I think all our viewers here can relate to some of this and learn something, because I learn a lot from this lady, and not just in one area, but as I said, she's multifaceted, multi-talented. So I hope you learned something. I want you to join us again, and also comment on this. Tell us what your marriages are like, and or your partnerships are like, and find us on social media and YouTube, and comment. So we'll see you next time. Thanks again.
Thank you for doing this.
Okay.